Greetings of the day, students. Welcome to Higher Secondary Council tutorial class. Now we are going to do the writing part of semester 4, which includes essay writing, drafting email, and blog writing. I am Mita Dotto. I will be giving you a presentation. Essay writing you already know, but drafting email and blog writing, it's new to the syllabus, but I am sure all of you now are very technologically advanced and you already know how to write them, yet we are going to go through the process of writing all these three. So at the beginning, let's go through the marks distribution. In writing, you have essay. Either you have to write one essay which has a word limit of 150 words and the marks is 10. Essay writing এ তোমাদের 150 ওয়ার্ডের মধ্যে লিখতে হবে এসেটা এবং তার জন্য 10 মার্কস আছে. So there is an or. If you don't write an essay, then you have to write an email and a blog, each of which consists of 5 marks each, and they have a word limit of 75 words. So if you write an essay, you write only the essay, which is of 10 marks. If you don't write the essay, you have to write one email and one blog, each of which contains 5 marks. Essay holo 10 marks. Essay jodi na lekho, jodi অন্যটা or এর যেটা আছে সেটা লেখো, তাহলে ব্লগ 5 marks এর আর ইমেল 5 marks এর. 75 words is the word limit. So what to do to write a good essay? So a good essay has the following features. You have to keep each paragraph and each sentence related to the main idea. So তোমরা যাই লিখছো না কেন, প্রথম থেকে তোমাদের এটা দেখতে হবে যেন যে টপিকটা দেওয়া হয়েছে সেটার সাথে রেলেভেন্স রেখে প্রত্যেকটা সেন্টেন্স বা প্রত্যেকটা প্যারাগ্রাফ হয়, এবং একটা প্যারাগ্রাফ থেকে যখন আরেকটা প্যারাগ্রাফে যাবে তখন the essay must be connected to each other so that the essay looks a whole unit as a whole. So unity is a very important factor which makes the essay a good essay. So coherence, it is the arrangement of ideas and flow of thoughts. So what is coherence? When we write the thoughts must come one after another. It must not be haphazard. It should have a logical sequence. যখন আমরা এসেটা লিখছি তখন এলোমেলো যেন না হয়, যেটার পরে যেটা আসা দরকার সেই অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টটা যেন ঠিক থাকে. So that is what we call coherence. Then is relevance. Unnecessary details and irrelevant information should be avoided. Anything that is unwanted should be avoided, because you should keep in mind that there is a word limit. So when you write an essay, here the word limit given from the council, it's 150 words. So you have to keep in mind that whatever you write should be relevant and to the point. তাহলে 150 ওয়ার্ডস যেহেতু আছে, তোমাদের কিন্তু এটা কেয়ারফুল থাকতে হবে যে আমি এমন কিছু লিখবো না যেটা আমার টপিকের সাথে রিলেটেড নয়, কিন্তু যেটা লিখলে আমার ওয়ার্ডসটা এক্সিড করে যাচ্ছে. কেননা আমার ওয়ার্ডস যদি এক্সিড করে যায় তাহলে কিন্তু আমার যত নম্বর পাওয়ার কথা তত নম্বর হবে না, বিকজ a good essay is only that which maintains all the norms that has been given. Then is proportion. Give more space to important points, and clarity is avoid stating thoughts in a roundabout way. So what does proportion means? You have to think which point is of more importance. So you have to write more on that. And a point of less importance, you have to give less sentences to that point. And the proportion of the clarity of the thoughts should be direct. You know, again, I will be stating you about the word limit that is given. So if you are direct, you will use less words to express yourself. But if you write in a roundabout way, it will just waste some of your words and not contribute anything to the thought or idea of the essay. তাহলে তোমাদের কি করতে হবে, যেইটা বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট সেটা কিন্তু তোমাদেরকে একটু বেশি সেন্টেন্স দিতে হবে সেইটার জন্য, আর যেটা তোমাদের দেখছো যে বেশি বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট পয়েন্ট না সেটা কম লিখতে হবে, কেননা সেই আবার একই জায়গায় ফিরে যাব যে ওয়ার্ড লিমিটটা যেন ঠিক থাকে। আর সোজাসুজি কথা বলবে, সোজাসুজি এক্সপ্রেস করবে নিজেকে। রাউন্ড অ্যাবাউট ওয়েতে করতে গেলেই, বেশি ঘোরালো ভাবে করতে গেলেই ওয়ার্ডস ওয়েস্টেড হবে, লিমিট ক্রস করে যাবে। So, what to do when you want to write an effective essay? You have to understand the topic very well. After reading the topic again and again, you have to concentrate on the topic and think and coordinate in your mind what you want to write. Then you have to organize your points. Organizing your points means arranging your ideas in the form of ইন্ট্রোডাকশন, বডি অ্যান্ড কনক্লুশন। তোমরা এসে সবসময় ছোটবেলা থেকে লিখেছো এবং জানো তোমরা যে এসের একটা ইন্ট্রোডাকশন হয়, তো বডি হয়, আর একটা কনক্লুশন হয়। তো ইউ হ্যাভ টু লজিক্যালি prepare in your mind what you want to write in the introduction, what the body is about, and how you want to make the conclusion, because conclusion is a very important point which makes an impact in the mind of the reader. যখন এক্সামিনার খাতা দেখছেন, তোমার কনক্লুশনটা সুন্দর হলে তার ইম্প্যাক্টটা কিন্তু তার উপরে অনেকটা থাকবে, keeping in mind the relevance of all that you have written to the topic. টপিকের সাথে রেলেভেন্স লেখে পুরো জিনিসটা তোমার সুন্দরভাবে যদি এক্সপ্রেস করো, অফকোর্স ইট উইল ক্যারি গুড মার্কস। অ্যান্ড your writing should be in a simple and formal language. Don't use very decorative words. Some of you may be thinking that using big words make a thing very good to read, but it is not that. It is actually the flow of language and how beautifully you put the simple language, how you express in a simple language, that makes your essay effective. So keep your writing style in that way and be logical. See to it that each paragraph connects logically to the other paragraph. এটা তোমাদের দেখতে হবে যে আগে ইন্ট্রোডাকশন যেটা লিখলে, ইন্ট্রোডাকশন থেকে যখন তুমি বডিতে আসছো, তখন কিন্তু তোমার যে এই ইন্ট্রোডাকশন থেকে বডিতে আসার যে ফ্লো অফ থটস, ফ্লো অফ এক্সপ্রেশনস, সেটা যেন কানেক্টেড হয়। সেটা কানেক্টেড হলে সেটা খুব সুন্দর লাগে পড়তে। And maintain word limit, of course, that is for every question and answer and also for the writing part, that you have to maintain the word limit very carefully. Then there is creativity. Of course, your uniqueness is your style and your power of creativity, how you think about the topic. আমরা একে অপরের থেকে আলাদা কিভাবে হই? একটা জিনিসের ইনফরমেশন তো সেমই থাকে, কিন্তু সেই ইনফরমেশন বা সেই অবজারভেশন থেকে আমি নিজে কিভাবে সেই জিনিসটা দেখছি এবং কিভাবে লেখায় পরিণত করছি, তার উপরে কিন্তু ডিপেন্ড করে আমার লেখাটার ইউনিকনেস কতটা হবে। So it is very important to put your creative mind into your writing. And of course, for all these to be like worked out, you need to practice writing more and more, and practice writing on different topics. Check for errors. After finishing, of course, you have to check for grammatical errors and grammatical spelling errors, and also construction errors if there are any. You have to try and make the essay as accurate as you can. So keep writing essays on various topics regularly. Always remember that practice makes a man perfect, and the more you write, the more ideas will come flowing in, because writing is also a habit. You cannot suddenly go and write on a topic if you don't have the habit of writing. So please practice writing. Write on any topic that you see around you. It may not be any specific topic, because the idea is to make writing a habit so that you can write on any topic. Our brain is a muscle too, so you also need to think, to keep your brain active, and writing and practicing more will only help you to boost that power that is already within you. So next comes vocabulary. To increase your vocabulary, of course, you have to read different types of newspaper, magazines, and books regularly. And even when you read all your texts or anything that you read around, whether in your academic books or in any other books that you come across, always remember to note down the new words that you learn and try to apply them. That will give an idea, that will create a great vocabulary in you, which you can apply in your writings and make it more nice. So avoid repetitions. This is a very common error that we see in our students. Like, there is an essay and you keep repeating the same thing again and again. Repetition should be avoided because it will just eat up the words. It will exceed the words if you keep repeating on a topic. And also, it will not make a good essay because the more ideas, the more creativity you put in that 150 words will fetch the marks that you actually can do, can fetch, with practice. So try avoiding repetitions in your writing. So these are some of the model questions. Of course, these are just hints. There can be thousands and thousands of topics on which your questions will come. But just for a hint, I am giving you, write an essay on the following topics in around 150 words. You may use the hints given below. So the role of technology in modern education. There are some hints. Of course, hints are just for your reference. You may use the hints, you may not use the hints, you may use something more superior than the hints, you may add to the hints, but of course, these are for your reference. So, another is, describe a time you overcame a significant challenge. Describe a place that brings back special memories. So, you can try writing this just as practice. So, I have given you this topic. Then we come to the next topic. What is an email? So email, just write like the formal letters that you have been learning in your previous classes. Email is just the electronic version of that. But of course, you have to write an email in your scripts. You don't get a computer or a mobile to write an email in your classroom or examination. So for now, we are going to represent the writing of an email in our notebooks. So the full form of email is electronic mail. You just need to know how to write an email, but of course I am writing, I have prepared my slides in a bit elaborate way so that we also get an idea. You already know that I know, but we still recapitulate on the idea of what exactly an email is. And if we are, we are learning things so that we can apply. So what email writing you are applying when you actually write an email, so that you have an idea of how to do that. That's why we will be going through the next few slides. So it is a digital method for sending and receiving messages and files over the internet or other computer networks. So you know that we write emails, the medium can be anything. It may be a computer. We can also write emails from our smartphones. We can use tablets and so on and so forth. So it's a letter which is transmitted through an electronic media. Or electronic network or the internet. It functions much like traditional mail, but instantly and electronically. So what is the big difference between a mail and an email? A mail, we post it, it goes somewhere, but for an email, we write it and it reaches the recipient within seconds. So that is the biggest difference. And also, of course, with that, increase the effectivity of passing information. It's a core part of modern digital communication, using servers and protocols to send messages from one user to another globally. So we know email, messages, WhatsApp messages, everything আমরা globally পাঠাতে পারি within seconds. So email also effectivity-টা কোথায়, যে আমরা globally প্রচুর প্রচুর দূরে আমরা কিন্তু within seconds পাঠিয়ে দিতে পারি। So আমাদের যে কাজটা, এই যে ডিজিটালাইজেশনের ফলে আমাদের কাজটা কিন্তু অনেক ফাস্টার হয়ে গেছে যে কোনো ব্যাপারে। So what are the key aspects of a mail? Email, electronic, the E signifies that it's electronic, not physical. Mail refers to the messages or letters being sent. And what does it function like? It allows instant exchange of text, images, documents, and files. In emails, we can send even photos, videos, large attachments, which are otherwise not possible to send so easily across the world. So this is an amazing thing that we are working with in this world. So what we have learned is email এর টা হলো electronic, m টা হলো mail, so that is email, and ওটা কিসের কাজ করে? Instant, সঙ্গে সঙ্গে, immediate exchange of messages, files, letters across the world. So the technology, it relies on the mail servers and protocols, SMTP for sending and POP3 IMAP for receiving. These are not very important for you to learn for your exam, but of course I have mentioned it because it's all necessary for us in this digitalized world to come across and learn these processes. So SMPT is simple mail transfer protocol through which we send messages, and POP3, post office protocol version 3, or internet mail access protocol, we use for receiving. These are the pathways through which messages go and we receive also. So this is how it works. So till now আমরা কি জানলাম? Email is electronic mail, which plays a significant role in this modern digital communicative world, and it is commonly used. Of course, it is used for everything now. It's used academically, professionally. It's also used for trainings. It has a wide range of use, and students, education things, and organization in the world. So email is the acronym. Full form is electronic mail. Role is it enables digital exchange of many things. So what we have learned, how to send an email, this is more detailed, allows sending messages, supports group messaging. This is what is important here, is when we send a mail, we put the mail ID of a particular recipient. Sender, if I'm sending, I'm the sender, and one who receives is the recipient. So what we can do, we can also do group messages where CC and BCC folders are there, where we can, if we want to send a message to many people together, we don't need to send it again and again and again. We can do so in one mail by writing the name of the recipient, the main recipient, in the two part, and in CC or BCC, as it applies, we can put the name of many other senders, so that they receive the mail together, and work becomes easier for us by not writing the recipient names again and again. Like, I can give you the example of WhatsApp. Now in WhatsApp, when you send a message, you can send to 5 persons at a time, not more than that. But here, in this process, you can send to many together at the same time. So you can understand how much easier the work becomes. So Gmail is a specific email service provided by Google. There are many email providers such as Yahoo Mail, Outlook, Zoho, and more. So another thing is that you may see many now Gmail is very common. So you may xyz@gmail.com. So what is that Gmail part? It is the service provider. After @ the service provider name is written, and it can be Yahoo, Outlook, or many more other mail service providers, email service providers. It depends on to which service provider you have opened your account. So that will be in the part of @ after that. So how do you make an email address? It's a digital identifier, like I will have a single which will be mine only. When you open a mail ID, you will see that if there is another user with the same ID, they will prevent you from making that ID. So each of our mail IDs are our own unique IDs. And the key components are username, the unique name chosen by the user. It can be xyz.c. It can be your names. It can be anything that you choose to do. So after that, there is @ symbol. And after that comes the domain name, which is the host or which is the provider, as I told you before, gmail.com or example.com. It can be any of the providers that's available and that you find convenient. So that was the technical part, how you create it. Again, I repeat that you will not be asked to write all those. You will be asked to write an email in which we are going now. You already know that to write a formal letter, we need to be very specific, very straightforward. There should be a clear structure, a concise subject line where you write the subject. There should be a professional greeting. And of course, what should be written depends on the topic that is given, to whom you are writing. তোমরা এটা চুজ করবে যে কাকে লিখবে, কি গ্রিটিং হবে, সেটা কিন্তু কিসের অ্যাকর্ডিংলি হবে, যে ইমেলটা লিখতে দেওয়া হয়েছে এবং যার কাছে সেটা লেখা হচ্ছে, যার কাছে পৌঁছবে। তারপর কি হচ্ছে, a brief body stating the purpose with short paragraph bullet points. Then it is একটা ছোট্ট বডি লেখা হবে, সেটাতে টপিকটা থাকবে। The topic, the body of the letter with the topic will be very short and very direct. Of course, as in formal letters, the person to whom it is sent, it is known that the person is very busy and there should be no interactive or emotional, unprofessional interactions. So it should be straight away, short, and to the point. And of course, in emails, you can use bullet points also. Bullet points are, see these points, these are in many shapes. These come in many shapes. There are options when you write electronically. Of course, in your when you write in your papers, you need to do it with your pen. So it can be also in the form of a short paragraph, or it can be in bullet points like this. And a call to action may be attached if needed. A call to action means sometimes, you know, we need to know the thing at the end of the day. So call to action means what is to be done next is to be attached. If it's a very important mail requesting some approval which you need to proceed with something official the next day, then you should be stating that you need the answer during this time to proceed with your work. তো কল ফর অ্যাকশন কি, আমরা চিঠি লিখলাম যখন, মেলটা লিখলাম যখন, তখন এরকম যদি হয় যে ওই মেলটার উত্তর পেলে আমি আমার নেক্সট কাজটা করতে পারবো, তাহলে কিন্তু সেটা মেনশন করে দিতে হবে যে at the end of the day বা by tomorrow আমার এই উত্তরটা পেলে আমি তারপরে নেক্সটটাতে প্রসিড করতে পারবো। And this should be put in a request form in the most formal and polite manner. So with that polite call for action, there will be a polite closing, there will be a signature, and maintaining a clear, concise, and audience appropriate tone. Always proofreading before sending. যখন তোমরা খাতায় লিখবে তখন তো তুমি দেখতেই পাচ্ছ, তোমরা মেসেজ টাইপ করতেও গিয়ে দেখেছো অটো টাইপ, অটো কারেক্ট এসবের ফলে কিন্তু আমাদের টাইপিং গুলো অনেক সময় আমি যা লিখছি তার থেকে অনেক অদ্ভুত ওয়ার্ড হয়ে রেসিপিয়েন্টের কাছে চলে যায়। So when you write an actual email electronically, I mean, so you should be very careful about checking the spelling. Spell check kintu bhishon bhabe korte hobe so that there are no errors. It is very important to go through your email and see that it has no errors, spelling errors or anything, before you send it to the receiver. So how will be the subject line to make it, to say about an email writing in more details? The subject line should be clear, direct. And if it's a meeting request, just in small meeting request, or if it's regarding a project, write in very brief the project. The subject line should be very catchy, you know, it should attract the concentration or the eyes of the recipient, and he must feel interested and also informed about what you are going to write about. Then there is the greeting or salutation. That can be dear Mr. Roy or respected, or like usually hi, hello, we write for friends. It's not very formal. Of course, for formal, you write dear, respected, or whatever, wherever you are, whoever you are writing to, you will decide accordingly. But of course, তোমাদেরকে এরকমও ইমেল আসতে পারে যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বন্ধুকেই লিখছো তোমার কোনো কাজে, সেরকম হলে of course you can write hello also. So body, as we have discussed, it should be very straight to the point and brief. Call to action, that also we have discussed. It's CTA. So please respond by EOD. In emails electronically, you know, many short words are used. For example, EOD means end of the day. Sometimes we write ASAP, ASAP, as soon as possible. So those are some of the, you know, words that we use during writing emails. Those have become very for day-to-day words, these have become now. So these are written in the call to action if needed. And then closing, it should be polite with best regards or thanks. Then there should be the signature, and of course, whoever you are sending the mail to the recipient, you have to adjust your formal expressions likewise. যেরকম যাকে লিখছো তুমি কতটা ফর্মাল হবে, লেটারটার টোন কি থাকবে, অফকোর্স সেটা তুমি ডিসাইড করবে। And of course their press proofreadingটা খুব দরকার for spellings. CC, BCC সেগুলোতে জাস্ট নেসেসারি পিপল যারা আছে সেগুলো তুমি ইউজ করবে। সিসি তে হয়, is another slide of this. Now CC হলো কার্বন কপি, এটাতে এক্সট্রা রেসিপিয়েন্টস অ্যাড করবে তুমি। and now the difference between CC and BCC is, অনেক সময় দেখবে তোমরা মেল রিসিভ করবে, তোমার সাথে সাথে তুমি আরো অনেক মেল আইডি দেখবে, তাদেরকেও ওটা পাঠানো হয়েছে, তুমি সেটা দেখতে পাচ্ছ। The CC people, you can see their mail IDs. But for BCC, blind carbon copy is used when you send the same email to many people but keep recipient addresses hidden from each other. তুমি BCC যখন করবে তখন দেখবে তোমার মেলটা ওই একই মেল অনেকজনকে পাঠানো হয়েছে, but you cannot see the email addresses of anyone. So CC is when it is sent to many people, the same email, but you can see the recipients who are getting the mail along with you. But BCC is when the same mail is sent to you and a number of other people, but you don't get to see their mail addresses. So that is the difference between CC and BCC. So when you are doing it in electronically, you should be very careful about the CC and BCC and how much they are actually necessary. And always check who is the BCC field before sending, because the important thing is the main recipient should be the most important person to whom you are sending. So while doing the CC and or BCC part, it should not be that by mistake you put the name of the main recipient in BCC or CC. So you should be very careful about whom you are addressing the mail and about writing the main email address in the to place to that person. So that is one thing that needs to be very carefully looked upon. So this is a model email which I am not going through. You may take a screenshot. So here, of course, I have given some imaginative mail IDs. Those do not exist. The thing is your XYZ, the cultural representative of your school, ABC Higher Secondary School. Your school is participating in an inter-school essay competition to be held on 26 January. Write an email to the host school, PQR school, confirming participation and requesting event details. So this is the question, and this is how, I don't know, because of the presentation medium difference or something, I see some words have become like this, but this is a sentence, your esteem, here it will be T. This is my bad, my spelling, the Y has become, T has become Y. But you have to be very careful in using this, and don't make the mistakes like me. This will be T. So these are some of the things that should be checked before sending the email. So this mistake just shows how bad it looks when you send a uncorrected error with error mail to somewhere formal. So please be very careful about that. Now this is model question, some formal topics for emails to be written in 75 words. So these are some of the topics and some of the people to whom emails can be written. So please practice on these topics and also on a number of other topics. It may not be an email, it may not be specifically an essay, but keep writing on any topic, anything that you want. That will just increase your flow of writing. Ideas will also flow in if once you practice writing. So take care of that part. Then we come to the informal topics for emails to be written. So it can be on sharing experiences, making plans, expressing feelings, seeking advice. Like a friend who has visited Europe and you want to plan a trip to Europe, you can, of course, mail and ask from him or her about the experience. So these are some of the topics. Or you can also write to some travel agent from whom you want to get a quote of the money you need to spend in some tour and the plannings, etc. So have a practice on all of these varied topics. Then we come to blog. Blog is, to you young generation, a very common word, and I think blog and vlog, also the video blogging, that are very common these days. You are very much acquainted with that. তোমরা এটা খুব ভালো করে জানো। So blog একটা কথা যেটার কোনো full form নেই. There is no full form for blog. It is a shortened term from weblog, meaning a log or journal of activities, thoughts on the web. So a log on the web, that is weblog, সেখান থেকেই এই blog এসছে। It has been coined as weblog by John Barger in 1997. 1997 এ ইনি এটা কয়েন করেছিলেন এবং সেটাতে পিটার মেরোলস বলে একজন 1999 এ সে এটাকে ব্লগ আখ্যা দিয়েছে। তো আমরা এখন এটা কমনলি ব্লগ বলেই জানি। তাহলে অরিজিন ইজ weblog, web plus log meaning an online journal or diary with regular posts. So যখন আমরা ছোট ছোট কোনো আমার ট্রাভেল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, আমি কিছু খাবারের রেসিপি শেয়ার করতে চাই, আমার কিছু কোনো টপিকে বক্তব্য আছে সেগুলো আমি যখন বলতে চাই, তো অল দিস মে বি টপিকস অফ ব্লগস। সো দিস ইজ ইন শর্ট হোয়াট উই মিন বাই ব্লগ। তো ব্লগের এবার ফিচার্স গুলো কি হয়, ইম্পর্টেন্ট ফিচার্স অফ আ ব্লগ। It is again an online platform where people or groups share ideas, opinions, or experiences on various topics. It can be personal, professional, educational, or business related. তো এবার ব্লগটা অনলাইন প্ল্যাটফর্মেই হয়, ভেরিয়াস টপিকসে হয়, অনেক গ্রুপস লেখে, অনেক ইন্টারাকশনস লেখে, অনেক ইন্টারাকশনস তাতে থাকে। এবং আমরা আজকাল হয় কোনো একটা অপরিচিত জায়গায় যেতে গেলে there are various travel blogs যেগুলো are done by various other people. So to get an idea of the place, if we go through those blogs, then we have an idea of the place, we have much information of the place, where we want to go and stay, how the place is, what will be the weather, when is the best time to go, and all such things. So blogs can be personal, professional, educational, or business related. There are multiple types. Blogs usually have regularly updated posts which may include text, photos, videos, or links. So when I write a blog, it is regularly updated because informations keep changing. একটা যে কোনো জায়গা, সেটা আমি আজকে যখন গেছি আর 5 মাস পরে একজন যখন যাবে, ওটা তো ডিফারেন্ট হবে। তাই জন্য ব্লগে কিন্তু চেঞ্জ হতে থাকে, রেগুলার চেঞ্জেস হতে থাকে, এবং তাতে সেই চেঞ্জেস গুলোর উপরেও ইন্টারাকশনস হতে থাকে। সো a blog usually follows a definite pattern. It is a regularly updated content. ওটা রেগুলারলি কিন্তু আপডেট করা হয়, আবার করে লেখা হয়, ইনফরমেশন কারেকশন if needed is done or changed, not always correction. If some information needs to be changed, it's done. Reverse chronological order. Most recent posts appear first. So reverse chronological মানে কি, আমার 1 2 3 4 করে যাবে, যেটা সব থেকে নতুন, আমি যখন ব্লগটা খুলবো সেটা সব থেকে আগে আসবে নতুনটা, যাতে আমার রিসেন্টটা দেখা যায়। Interactivity, readers can comment and discuss. কমেন্ট ডিসকাস করার ওপেন থাকে, যেখানে যে ব্লগ লিখছে তার কাছে কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন্স থাকলে সে আনসার করতে পারে। The tone may be formal or informal. সেটা ডিপেন্ডস অন কি টপিকে তুমি করছো। The tone of the blog depends on the topic on which we are writing. Categorization and tagging. It is sorted according to themes or topics. Themes, topics, এইগুলো অনুযায়ী কিন্তু ওটাকে ট্যাগিং করা হয়। এবার টাইপস অফ ব্লগ কি করে হয়? পার্সোনাল, নিশ, এই কথাটা নিশও বলে, নিচও বলে। It means it covers specific subjects like travel, food, health, or technology. মানে কি টাইপের ব্লগ করা হচ্ছে সেইটা স্পেসিফাই করে। পার্সোনাল মিনস ডায়েরির মতো পার্সোনাল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স কিছু যখন শেয়ার করা হচ্ছে। এডুকেশনাল, lessons, it may be tutorials and learning guides, পড়াশোনা সংক্রান্ত যে কোনো ব্যাপার। নিউজ হতে পারে, এরকম যে কোনো একটা ঘটনা ঘটেছে তার উপরে আমি আমার স্পেসিফিক ভিউজ দিতে পারি। আই ওয়ান্ট টু অ্যানালাইজ দ্যাট পিস অফ নিউজ, তো সেইটা হতে পারে নিউজ কেন্দ্রিক। নিশ ব্লগস, নিশ ব্লগস এর মধ্যে কি পড়ছে? ফুড ব্লগস, যেরকম রেসিপি, রেস্তোরাঁ, রিভিউজ, কুকিং। ট্রাভেল ব্লগস, ডেস্টিনেশন যেখানে আমরা যেতে চাই, নানান রকম বেড়ানোর গল্প, কারো কারো এক্সপিরিয়েন্স তো কারো কাছে খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট হতে পারে ফর দেয়ার ট্রিপ। বা অনেকের এক্সপিরিয়েন্স জানলে একটা আইডিয়া হয় আমাদের। হেলথ অ্যান্ড ফিটনেস ব্লগস, ওয়েলনেস, ওয়ার্কআউট, নিউট্রিশন। এখন তো লোকে প্রত্যেকে ভীষণ বিজি থাকে অ্যান্ড এভরিবডি ইজ সো লাইক স্ট্রেসড অ্যান্ড দে ওয়ান্ট টু কিপ দেয়ার হেলথ ওকে ফর দ্য ওয়ার্ক টু গো অন। তাই জন্য এখন এটা ভীষণ আপকামিং হেলথ অ্যান্ড ফিটনেস ব্লগস গুলো। পার্সোনাল ফিনান্স, মানি ম্যানেজমেন্ট, ইনভেস্টমেন্ট, এইগুলো আজকাল শেয়ার ইত্যাদি অনেক রকম মানি পলিসিস আসছে, ওয়্যার ইউ ক্যান লাইক ইনভেস্ট ইউর মানি ইন ডিফারেন্ট প্লেসেস, সেই ধরনের ব্লগস। পেরেন্টিং, কি করে ফ্যামিলি লাইফ বা বাচ্চাদেরকে ঠিক করে মানুষ করা যায়, সেই রকম। অফকোর্স এভরি পেরেন্ট নোজ ভেরি ওয়েল, but still these do exist because some people want to share, some experts want to share parenting blogs also, which are important because I am telling you or elaborating to you this because we as parents and you as children, we have a long gap in terms of technology. We are much technologically challenged and you are all very much technologically upgraded. So of course, there needs to be some parenting lessons also for by which of course we can all deal things better for the good of our children. So there are technological blogs where you can come to know of a phone that you want to buy. The reviews are very important. You come to know how that phone is working so that you decide on what to buy. Similar for computer or any electronic gadget. Then there are DIY and craft blogs where you can come to know about how to very easily make beautiful creative things out of just nothing, out of just very simple thing, do it yourself things that can be in the blogs. So then there are gaming blogs, which must be very important to you, my students. So format is, you have a title that should be catchy, যেন খুব আকর্ষণীয় হয় ব্যাপারটা। তারপরে হলো ইন্ট্রোডাকশন, মানে একটা বেশ হুক লাইন বলে, একটা কোয়েশ্চেন বা একটা কোট, এমন কিছু একটা দিয়ে বললে যেটা মানে খুব অ্যাট্রাকটিভ লাগবে, which is very attractive to the person who is reading it, so that he stays connected to your blog and wants to read the next lines. Introduce the topic precisely, stating its relevance. It should be very relevant. If it is not relevant to the modern day situation, then people won't feel like getting into the blog. So there should be a body, then there should be subheads where it can be broken down into small paragraphs with headings that may contain different important things which you want to highlight in your writing. And the paragraph should be very short and crisp. Things are always good to read. When a thing becomes very long, it becomes boring. So it should be very short, and there may be bullets. I mentioned you about bullets, which will be easier to spot. If you know the very main points, you can put bullets there, and there may be images and infographics to improve understanding. So infographics are something that you all use artificial intelligence these days. Also, you can make beautiful infographics through different AI tools that are used these days. So all these are when you do it electronically. This is all to explain you how blogs are written. But of course, for our examination in semester 4, we have to concentrate on how to write a blog on paper, a representation of the blog on paper. So you have to again write on the topics and practice and practice. So summarize the main ideas, conclude with a thought-provoking statement, something that the person will think even after he stops reading the blog. এমন একটা কিছু লিখতে হবে যেটা ব্লগ পড়া শেষ হয়ে গেলেও তার মাথায় থাকবে, সে ওটা নিয়ে ভাববে, সে ইন্টারঅ্যাক্ট করতে চাইবে, সে ডিসকাস করতে চাইবে। So invite readers also to comment, and through call to action, which is motivate readers to ask them to subscribe so that you have a lot of readers, and if applicable, a link to a product, service, or newsletter may be provided. All these can be when you write a blog, all these when you write in your papers to represent a blog, when a question comes and you answer, remember to write all these with bullets, okay? And then here is a model blog that I have put for you for travel and lifestyle with the title, The Joy of Solo Travel. Eka eka ghorar anondo. How you can go forward with different adventures and bring back new ideas to your life. So eta tomra poro, you will get an idea how to write a blog, and this is a marketing blog. The topic is the 80-20 rule for content success. If you read this, এটা পড়তে গিয়েও তোমাদের কিন্তু অনেকটা ব্লগ কিভাবে লিখতে হবে তার আইডিয়াটাও পাবে, but this itself is a blog stating the 80-20 rule for content success, how a content can be successful as a blog. This is a recipe focused post. These I have put for you to just have an idea of how blogs are and how you can write it down. Now, these are some of the model questions which I have put for you. Global warming, honesty, how traveling makes you wiser. These are some of the simple living, high thinking, a day without technology. I think you people can't imagine now, you youngsters, a day without technology. So these are some of the blog topics that I would suggest you to practice. Of course, there are 1,000 more topics which you can take from anywhere and keep your practice on. So, thank you, my students.